Can I help you, sir?
Yes, what is this? Huh? This is whack. I can't get jiggy with this.
Now, one thing's for sure. This episode of The Pulse will definitely make you laugh. He's Philly's import all the way from Ghana.
I looked different, I sounded different, so I kind of stood out. I talked a lot about coming from Africa. Even if I did a joke that wasn't funny, they probably had more sympathy for me.
Today on The Pulse, I learned the hard way not to battle a comedian like Michael Blackson.
I'm gonna light you up.
You know how we do every week, but it's exciting this week because we've got actor, comedian, philanthropist, social media star. We've got Michael Blackson, but we've got him here in studio with us in a toned down suit. We're full on chill mode as you came in today. Thank you for coming in.
Man, thanks for having me. Don't he look like the guy that was dating Jada Pinkett in the movie Set It Off, the one that worked at the bank? A little bit. He like the guy from the bank that worked at the bank, and then never mind.
I gotta be doing crimes and
I
whatnot.
gotta do that. It was a grown man with a baby hair I was looking at. I'm sorry.
Is that how we gonna start? The baby hair. I started on your suit. You gonna start it on my hair.
Man. You gonna get it back.
But see, I didn't know that I could wear that. When you came in, all the people here were like, Bill, go upstairs and change. When you're allowed to wear everything that you've ever wanted to wear before, and upstairs management said no, like, when you're here, I can just roll with it. I should have thought about that.
Yeah, you should. I'll bring you a suit next time.
Yeah?
I got you, man.
Then we're going to have you come right back. All right, so we started off joking, but that's kind of become your thing. Like, how did all this?
You know what? When I came to America as a kid, 13, 14 years old, we had nothing. We was very poor. We lived in shelter homes, and we wore, like, clothes that was given to the shelter home to give to kids. So, I went to school and, even my mom bought me new clothes. She would go to the grocery store and buy me shoes. I remember she bought my shoes from a place called Pathmark back in the day. My first couple of years was in Newark, New Jersey. So I remember my mom going buying chicken and buying shoes right next to it. I was wearing chicken flavored sneakers for probably a couple of years.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody ever wore dinner before, but I was wearing dinner. So, when I was able to finally make some money, it all went to clothes. I said, you know what, I'm going to get everything I was never able to get. I'm going to go extra, make sure I'm going to get stuff that nobody else going to wear. So I go to stores where I make sure nobody am around. Will you wear this suit?
Yeah.
Babe, you know where to find it.
That one I'm saying is probably expensive and custom. And
this is made out of like tiger's back, right. The back of a tiger.
Listen, I got a spot over North Philly.
Ain't no North Philly.
I got you. We got suits.
This is not that's
just like that.
That you got on is former Mills. This is totally something different. This suit is not even out yet. This come out in about 5 years.
It's gonna be your clothing line. It's gonna be your brand. You mentioned local connections. Mm-hmm. So you came here.
I moved to Philly summer of '89. As a little boy, summer of '89, I came to Philly, and pretty much Philly became home. My mother had a few friends from Liberia who lived in Philly, and they told her, hey, Philly is a lot less expensive to live. And I remember moving to Philly, summer of '89, lived in a row house in Southwest Philly, right off of Regent Street, which is between King Sesson and Chester Avenue. And we had a whole 3-bedroom for $300 a month. For the first time, I had my own room. It was a good feeling. So Philly became home right away. Believe it or not, Philly was a much better place than Jersey to us because I got to Philly and right away I was able to get a job. I got a job working at Domino's Pizza on South Street. Okay. I started off answering phones and then went to delivering pizzas on a bicycle because I was too young to have a license.
So that's what you did.
That's what I did for my early teenage years. So even after during high school, I did it throughout the whole high school in Philly. Graduated from the same high school Patti LaBelle graduated from. Okay. John Bartram High in Southwest Philly. And then throughout high school, even when I graduated, I stayed at Domino's. And that's when I had a coworker that thought I was funny. He was an acting teacher at the Philadelphia Community College. And he's like, hey, Mike, you funny. Why don't you go to open mic? And I'm like, what's that? He said, it's a stage, just go. Anybody could go on. And then I started going. And this is back like 93.
Were you a star immediately? Like, we've talked to other people who tell the story. Like, we went out there and I went to open mic and I go and the rest was history. And they're like, nah, I got booed off the stage.
With me, I was different. You know, I was still a young African kid, and so I talked a lot about coming from Africa, you know, and I looked different, I sounded different, so I kind of stood out, you know, so it was more, even if I did a joke that wasn't funny, they probably had more sympathy for me.
Okay. Like, give him a chance.
I say give him a chance. You know, so I started writing jokes that kind of went with my sympathyness. You know, my first joke was like, I was really extra skinny. I know I look like a crackhead right now, but I was a lot skinnier. No disrespect to the crackheads out there. I apologize. I'm sure your life is going to get better eventually. But
I'm getting fired. All right, feel good.
But I was really slim. So I remember I would go on stage and be like, my first line was, slim fast really works. And I opened up my arms. That was my first joke. And my second joke was, Africans hated it, but the audience loved it. My second joke was, when I first came from Africa, all my friends tried to make me feel at home. So they didn't feed me for a month. So I got a lot of backlash from my village. But they said, you know what, Mike, just get the money and bring it here and do something with it.
Next on The Pulse, someone was actually crazy enough to try and steal his identity?
Somebody already took my name, and he was being Michael Blackson. He was a funny me. I'm like, who is this guy that's trying to be funny than me?
Using your name?
Using my name and my likeness, speaking like me.
This is the low top. This is the hot top right here. In fact, after the show, I'm selling skin shoes. I don't have the white ones yet, but it's coming out.
We were getting ready for this interview, okay? And so I looked at your social media. Man, everybody knows you. Everybody knows your background. But what's interesting, and I really don't want to insult the comedians because I don't want to start this battle back and forth. But what's interesting about it is that everyone knows you, but they all know you for different things. Like, they know you for stealing the roles in all of these different movies. You always have the memorable role. And then I go look at your social media. It's like 6 million followers. How'd you get there? We know you for the comedy. We know you for the roles, even if they were small roles. In your mind, how'd you get to 6 million and this level of success?
Oh, man, it was on social media very early. You know, I was a little behind on Twitter. I remember Twitter came out in 2009-ish. And by the time I got on Twitter, Kevin Hart was there already. All my comedians already up there, about 6 months already. Already verified, making noise, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, what's going on? I get there, I'm trying to, I'm new with no followers, trying to interact with them. Because back then, with Twitter, to grow your following, you have to interact with somebody with following. But then nobody was trying to answer, you know, nobody was answering me. And then, you know, I was so late on Twitter that by the time I got on there, somebody already took my name, and he was being Michael Blackson. He was a funny me. I'm like, who is this guy that's trying to be funny than me?
Using your name?
Using my name and my likeness, speaking like me.
What?
Yes. So it was like, so then I said, okay, I gotta get my name back because everybody think this guy's Michael Blackson, but he's really not. Eventually they took my name from him, gave it back, and verified me. So then I started, you know, roasting people. You know, I started roasting, and I remember one day I just got up and roasting everybody. Nobody's replying. Kevin Hart replied one time, and me and him went back and forth for 2 days roasting each other. And then I grabbed half of his following from Twitter just because of that.
Really?
Oh, he had all the he had all the ugly jokes. I had all the midget short jokes.
So if I start insulting you on social media, you think that would help my following?
That would help your following because I'm gonna light you up. You know, and then then you would
light me up to 5 million.
But that's Twitter. So Instagram is where most of my following is.
Yeah.
I had, you know, that I was on time with Instagram. You know, even with Instagram, when I got on there the first time, you know, I said, okay, what can I do to grow my following? My fans like to roast. My fans like funny things. You know, so I remember one time I posted a picture of like me just wearing an outfit. Like, you know, it was like a pink suit. And then I wore that outfit and I posted it, and then they made a meme out of it. Okay. They made like a whole bunch of memes. I just took the funniest meme and posted it and said, who did this to me? And then so every picture I posted after that, people make memes. And that's how my following started to grow because they were sharing these pictures with the different memes that it looked like.
When you do stuff like that, people are either going to love you or the people you're roasting potentially are going to hate you.
Yeah.
And when you first walked in, I said to you that, and we don't curse on the show. We can beep yours out, but you know, and I said that you're no. If I don't give a F was a person.
Right.
In some ways, that seems like you.
Yeah,
Like on social media, you just give it to them, just brutally honest.
I didn't actually get to become myself till I got to Philly. Mind you, by that time I've been in America for about 2-3 years. When I got to Philly, I already knew how the kids are. You know, myself, okay, these kids like to make fun of you. If you don't have the right clothing, they're gonna clown your clothes. Because back home, when I was a kid, we just cared about new clothes. If you had new clothes, that's how you get the girls.
Okay.
You got the girls up for new clothes. In America, it has to be new and has to be name brand. I didn't know that. I just thought new.
It was new, it was good.
So I just got to school my brand new outfit. I'm walking around pride with my new chicken flavor sneakers and my church clothes without the church service. And they're like, Mike, what you wearing? I said, what do you mean what I'm wearing? This is new. They said, yeah, but it's not Adidas, it's not Nike, it's not Puma. I said, it's brand new. Nobody's ever worn this. Man, they lit my up. They roasted me. So, but all that happened in Jersey. So by the time I got to Philly, I already knew what I got to do.
Coming up, when playing around on social media goes really wrong.
We did a fake kidnap, but the whole world thought it was real. TMZ got involved. Police got involved. And, you know, we kind of like rode it for a little bit. We played with them for a little bit.
Presenting the supreme leader of Nextoria, the conqueror of countries in heart, the wrestler of lions, the tamer of elephants, the inspiration for Mufasa, General Easy.
So the controversy, the back and forth, the after you became you,
Yes.
like getting back from the childhood stuff, you just embraced it. You just go with it. And how did people respond to it? How did the celebrities who you roasted feel?
You know,
about it?
I was we weren't friends prior to the roasting, but we became friends after the roast. It was Tyrese. I have this thing that I was doing called like the Dark Skin Committee, right?
Okay.
You know, it's like, so like I'm in a committee. I created this committee.
Okay.
You know, I had like Michael Blackson and like Wesley Snipes, Tyrese, Morris Chestnuts. You know, anybody that's above like 11:50 p.m.
Right.
Like you are like 9:30 p.m. I'm 11:59 p.m. Okay.
Okay.
So anybody from 11 p.m. and above was part of the Dark Skin Committee. You did not make the Dark Skin Committee cut.
Okay.
All right.
Hurt my feelings, man.
Yeah, it should be hurt. AJ Brown from the Eagles, he's in the Dark Skin Committee. Jalen Hurts is more like 9:33 p.m. Okay.
All right.
So, you know, first I know Tyrese cried a little bit. First it was one cry, you know, then it was two cry. And I'm like, you know what, Tyrese, one more cry, I'm gonna have to escort you out of the Dark Skin Committee. And then he cried again. And then I said, you know what, then I did a big thing and I'm like, okay, Tyrese is no longer part of the Dark Skin Committee. He's crying about child support, whatever it was. So then, you know, he contacted me.
Oh, on social.
On social, and then we made a funny skit.
Okay.
Went viral. He fakely kidnapped me. We did a fake kidnap, but the whole world thought it was real. TMZ got involved, police got involved, and you know we kind of like rode it for a little bit. We played with them for a little bit, right? And then after he said after it was all said and done, he said, "Hey Mike, listen, you're a celebrity now, Mike. You cannot be roasting other celebrities." I said, "Well, that's the case. I don't want to be a celebrity because I'm having more fun. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going." You know? So I lost a few friends and gained some, and you know,
sounds like you gained a lot more than you lost.
What
people are now quoting you and talking about my guy Michael Blackson's gonna be there. He's my guy. You're on TV shows. So most people are pretty good sports.
Yeah. I just you know, I think the savageness was always in me. Maybe it just needed time to come out, and it's out now.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave you alone. Listen, I'm not going there.
Flavor Flav is also part of the Dark Skin Committee. Go back to your meeting.
We're just gonna think about all the people. I'm looking up on the wall of people who have been on the show so far, you know, and I don't see a lot of people who can be.
Don Cheeto is also part of the Dark Skin Committee. I think that's pretty much. There's a lot more.
Yeah, there's more. We'll think about it. All right. So you gain this level of success. All the movies, the TV, the comedy, you're touring, the social media is blowing up. At some point, all of the success, did you never lose track of the fact that you wanted to do more with philanthropy? You wanted to do things? Because we talked about it a little bit to begin. But congratulations, you just finished a school. It's now open, did it in Ghana.
Yes.
Was that something you always wanted to do?
You know, I went back home for the first time after being in America back in 2001. I had just did a cameo in my first movie called Next Friday with Ice Cube and
another one
Epps.
where you stole a movie and it was a cameo.
Yeah, my 1.6 minute scene, I became like an instant hood star. You know, so when that movie came out, I became a bigger name. You know, I went from making $500 a show to like $2,500. You know. So I'm going around everywhere collecting all this money. Like, you know, I said, okay, I got to save some money. I got to get back home. I got to get home. Mm-hmm. So I remember going back home for the first time after leaving Africa 15 years prior. Mm-hmm. And then when I went back to where I was from. You know, went to the villages and all that. And I'm looking around, I'm like, why are these kids walking around doing school hours? Okay. You know, and it's always been on my mind since 2001, you know, and I said, well, I got to go home and I got to start saving my money. I got to do something. I got to give something back to these kids. And I always wanted to do it back in 2001. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, you know. So when fast forward to like 2019, you know, by then I think I made a little bit more money. I saved some money. I said, okay, let me go see if I could try to make this happen. You know, and then I went and fortunately my mother had a land where she had an old house there, and she said, you know, that she wanted a house torn down anyway. You could build a school here, and then we just, you know, made it happen.
We Google people when they're going to come on the show. And you know how Google, you put in the name and it starts like listing what people think about with the person. You Google Michael Blackson, there's a lot of stuff. But the second thing that comes up is Michael Blackson rich? When you go and look at it. So I kind of looked at that, and people have that question, but I think part of that is based on the fact that you went and built a school, and everybody talks about, I should do these things if I just get to a certain point, or if I just have a certain amount of money. And I'm not counting your money, but you just did it. Like it wasn't, I'm going to wait until I've got $1 billion to go help people.
I pretty much saved money to build this school, and now I'm using my income to fund it, to make sure the teachers are paid. I just took a fraction of my income to give back.
You're paying for this.
I'm paying for this. I'm paying it out of my pocket. Every month I'm going to send, you know, this was the first month, so now we get an idea of what food costs, you know, what everything costs, what security costs, what the cleaner costs to clean the school every day, my teachers, everything.
So the guy who roasts everybody is spending his time helping people.
Hey man, I'll make fun of you, but I'm going to help you too, okay?
Next on The Pulse, like so many in Philly, Michael Blackson, he also has a Ben Simmons story.
Well, you are like a snake. That's what I call him, a snake. This guy, this whole time he had his eye on my woman. He'll be forever roasted by me.
I was in the state of Arizona. Arizona has a law. If the police pull you over and you look like a foreigner, they want to see your license and your green card. They said, where's your green card? I said, man, I ain't African. I'm from Philly, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you went in on Ben Simmons.
Oh, God, Ben is up. You know,
Ben
think
Simmons
about it.
Not your favorite person.
Nah, not anymore. This guy was my homie too, man, you know. But you know, when you are like a snake, that's what I call him, a snake. I hope he's watching. He'll not be an all-star. The league think he's stealing money from the league. I mean, you know, everybody's making fun of him. You know, because you just, when you are a jerk, that's what happens. I met this guy in his rookie season on South Street when we sucked. Sixers were terrible then, you know. And I remember I ran into him at the store on South Street. He said, man, tell me a joke. I said, the Sixers. That's how bad they were back then, you know. Right. And then fast 4 years later, you know, we got the team together. You know, he's on the team, and then, you know, he's like, remember that joke you told me? I said, I know, we good now, you know. So we were friends. We like, I have all his numbers. You know, he come to LA, we hang out. You know, we went to games together, Eagles games together. Okay. You know, and then this guy, this whole time he had his eye on my woman.
He slid in
Slid in.
fiance. She white?
Rada. Well, she's still my
slid in.
fiance. She slid into her DM.
She slid into your fiance's
His
DM
DM.
when y'all were friends.
Friends.
And tried to holler at your fiance.
And then she was like, "Aren't you friends with Mike?" He said, "Well, we're not that good of a friend."
Wow.
He'll be forever roasted by me.
Any chance you get.
Every chance I get.
And I'm a team player, so I was giving you that chance.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
He
Thanks for the layup,
he
man.
kinda deserves it.
Thanks for the layup. Something he don't know about.
Yeah. We end every pulse with the concept of use your voice for good. Okay. What does use your voice for good mean to you in the larger picture?
Use your voice is good. I mean, I think whatever it is, that God gave you, because I think God gives everybody something. I don't know what he gave you. But, at the end of the day, use it. When God blesses you, give back. That's why using your voice for good. When God give, even, sometimes, even if you just walking down and you see a homeless guy, you can give him a dollar, whatever. Just do good. When God bless you, you have to give back somehow, some way, if you want to keep getting blessings.
That was fun. Michael Blackson is just fun and doing some great things, and that's part of what we like to focus on The Pulse. So we got the laughs, but also heard about how he's using his voice for good. I hope you enjoyed it. And a reminder that you can hear the entire discussion. You're not going to want to miss that. All places where podcasts are available. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm sure you will enjoy it. And thank you. And I leave you, as I always do, reminding you whenever you can, use your voice for good and have a good one.